Wish you could smell this. It's like orange bubble gum. It's a mock orange. Philadelphus Belle Etoile. One of the things I love about gardening is the opportunities to save money and still have either beautiful flowers to look at or really good food to eat. Saving seeds is one of those ways you can save a fortune in gardening. So here I've got some stalks off a looping that we had going up at the allotment. I'm going to get the seeds out of these little pods. In fact, you can see, I don't know whether it'll come up on camera. That's one of the seeds there. And then using last year's compost. So when I say last year, I mean we started making it last year. These tyres were a lot higher. We've been using it as this year's been going on, so the compost is a year old. Using this compost, I'm going to fill up all these plastic pots that we keep, and then one seed in each. They'll start growing. It's now August. It's a good time of year to plant biennial seeds. Lupins are biennials. They'll start growing. They'll go dormant over winter. They'll stop growing over winter, but then next spring they'll carry on going and they'll flower next year. So biennials flower in the second year. This massive stack of tyres is this year's compost. So we've been adding to this all this year. Kitchen scraps, veg peelings, chicken manure from our chickens, lots and lots of weeds. Chickweed has been doing ace this year. Well, I say ace, it's good for the compost, and also the chickens have been enjoying the odd handful. Yeah, so lupins for almost nothing. In the corner of my yard, next to my big tyres that form my compost heap, I have, using just these odds and ends of bits of stones and cobbles and bits of house brick, I've built like a planter, say no more than a foot high, threw a load of compost in. I did all this last year sometime, and then this is my mint area, because everybody knows that you need to keep mint containerized or contained even, because if you don't, if you put it into an open border, it'll spread and take over. Right, we'll take that as a given. Most people know that. What I didn't know, which I've learned because I made a mistake, and you know it's all about learning from your mistakes, what I didn't know is that if you mix different varieties of mint together, there's some kind of reaction takes place and they'll all end up just tasting the same. So in here I've got apple mint and spearmint, or yeah, my spearmint. I've got chocolate mint and I've got some Korean mint, and there might even be a bit of black peppermint still in there somewhere. So what I need to do, it's a bit of a shame, but in another month or two I was going to do this anyway. It needs all chopping right down, and then I will identify, just before I make the chop, I'll identify which clump is which plant, and then I need to put all the different types into separate pots. So I'll keep all the chocolate mint in one big pot, you know, all the apple mint in one big pot, and so forth and so forth. Yeah, it's a bit of a shame though, but all is not wasted, because what I'll do is I'm not just going to cut it down and bin it, because any bits I do cut them right down just above the ground level. I mean, that, there's nothing wrong with that. I can get a bunch of that, hang it up in my kitchen, and that'll dry in a couple of weeks, and then I've got a lovely store of dried mint that I can use for teas and things like that. Might even try some mint sauce, although I've got to be honest, I don't like vinegar, so if I made the mint sauce I'll probably just give it away to someone. Yeah, so that's what I'm going to do. I've got to clear this bed out then. I'll leave one variety of mint in it, I think, but all the rest, it's going to go into their own pots. I've got an escape artist. Blue, go on, get down, get down. Blue, My word. We did have a sheet hanging on that, but it needed washing. Blue. Right, it doesn't look like much yet, but I've got 9 lupins, all from seed that I've saved. So they've been potted up. This should be absolutely fine in this polytunnel over winter, because it's still like end of August, very beginning of September. It's enough time for the plant to grow a little bit, but then it'll just go dormant in the very depths of winter. So long as we don't get a ginormous freeze which kills the plant, it should be okay in here. And also, so long as I don't let these dry out. So they don't need to be sodden, but so long as, you know, I just keep the compost in the pots moist, they should be able to be planted out next spring. And then over on this side I have got 12 hollyhocks, again all from seed that I'd saved. So there's quite a lot of plants there. Was never good at maths. 12 had 9, 21 plants, and it's basically cost me nothing, absolutely nothing, because I've not bought these plastic pots especially. They're all from other plants that I've got in the past, that we just keep them. The compost I've made myself, the seed I've collected myself. So, oh, while we're here, got some chili plants with some basil mixed in. And the basil, I did a couple of years ago, I made a video about buying living herbs from supermarkets, from the fruit and veg aisle, and then separating them, because you know you get about 20 to 30 plants in a very small pot all crammed in. If you separate them out, you can get them to grow on, which is exactly what I've done here. So we've been doing really well for basil this year. And I tell you what as well, I don't know what variety, I'm going to guess sweet Genovese, but my word, it's got a strong flavour to it. It's like that very aniseedy smell. So we've been making some basil ice cubes with it, and for the ice we've been freezing olive oil, so that we've now got a block of frozen olive oil with these basil leaves in. So anytime we make some kind of like Italian inspired sauce for pasta, we throw a couple of those in. We've been doing all sorts with the basil, to be honest with you. Yeah, and the chilies, they're absolutely covered. Some are small, some are big. I forget what variety they are now. But I think they're a jalapeno. Yeah, but yeah, we've done alright. Done alright for basil. My mouth's watering actually, just looking at it now. As always, thank you so much for watching. If you really liked it, click the subscribe button. I'll leave you with this picture of a bee pollinating a tiny little flower. I took this with my macro lens.